There were two contract memoranda relating to roads. One was with regard to a section of the Calabar-Ikom-Ogoja road, the section linking Akpet Central. There was a problem with what we call these steel reinforced drains that we discovered there. So those drains were put there, I think, about 42 years ago, and there are 86 of them that have failed. And we need to replace them now with concrete ring drains to allow water to flow. Otherwise, the retention of water badly impacts the road. As a result of that, we had to revise the scope of works from rehabilitation to construction in order to remove all the old steel drains that had corroded and replace them with concrete drains and over 75 kilometers of road network. And that required an augmentation of the contract by an additional sum of 12 billion naira. So that memo was approved. The second memorandum relates to the Road Infrastructure Tax Credit Scheme. You will recall that policy, Executive Order 7, signed by Mr. President, allowing private sector operators to identify infrastructure such as roads for which they will deploy their taxes in advance, the taxes that they should have paid. So you will recall that I had briefed you here about the use of that policy by the Dangote Group on Obajana to Kaba and Apapa to Uwurunshoki. And later this year, earlier this year, there were 5 other roads: the Kaduna Western Bypass, the Lekki Port Road, the road from Shagamu through Papalanto, and a couple of others like that. One road in Maiduguri that was approved, about 320-something billion. So today, we have another player. We have other interested players who are still showing interest. We haven't concluded, but we have another player who has shown interest and committed to deploy taxes, and it's the government corporation known as NNPC. So NNPC has identified 21 roads that it wants to deploy some of its tax liabilities to. Now, the instructive thing about this is that this initiative helps government to achieve many things, including ministerial mandates 3 and 4, which were discussed at the last retreat. Ministerial mandate 3, if you recall, was energy sufficiency in electric power and petroleum energy distribution across the country. Petroleum energy distribution is being impacted positively and negatively, as the case may be, by the transport infrastructure, which is ministerial mandate 4. So NNPC has sought, and Council has approved today, that NNPC deploy tax resources to 21 roads, covering a total distance of 1,804.6 kilometers across the 6 geopolitical zones. Out of those 21 roads, 9 are in North Central, particularly Niger State. And the reason is that Niger State is a major storage center for NNPC. So the reason NNPC is doing this is to facilitate petroleum distribution across the country. And you've seen that we've had every year Niger State gridlock, the governor complaining that his roads are being damaged by trucks, trucks who overload their trucks after damaging the roads themselves now protest for the damage that they sometimes have induced. Anyway, this is the final solution to that problem. So there are 9 like that in North Central. There are 3 in the Northeast. There are 2 in the Northwest, 2 in the Southeast, 3 roads, the entire Udukpani Itu, Ikotekpene roads in lots 1, 2, and 3, now fully covered. Then in the Southwest, you have the Lagos-Badagry Expressway, the Agbara Junction, and you also have Ibadan to Ilorin, the Oyo-Ogbomosho section. So that's it. In the Southeast, you have Aba Ikotekpene in Abia and Akwa Ibom State, so that's a major link. Then you have Umuahia, Ikuano to Ikotekpene Road again, and so on and so forth. In the Northwest, it is Gada, Zaima, Zuru, Gamji Road, and also Zaria, Funtua, Guzo to Sokoto Road. In the Northeast, it is Cham Numan, Bali Serti, and Gombe Biu Road. The roads impacted in the North Central include Ilorin, Jeba, Mokwa, Bokani, sections 1 and 2, Suleja, Mina, sections 1 and 2, Bida, Lambata, Ager, Kacha, Baro Road, and Mokwa, Makera, Tegina, Kaduna border in Niger State, Mina, Zungeru, Tegina Road, and Bida, Mina Road, all in Niger State. As I said, a total of 21 roads. What will happen as a result of this is that there will be no financing problems with regarding the execution of these roads anymore. So some of these roads I've mentioned, let me tell you what has changed. For example, Aba Ikotekpene Road has an estimate of about 30.399 billion to complete it. The provision in the budget this year is only 200 million. If you look at Suleja Mina Road, section 2, it has 25.763 billion to complete it. The provision in the budget this year is just 100 million. So with this intervention, all those roads now will be fully funded. They don't have budgetary challenges and financing challenges anymore. So Council approved this as a strategic funding for this road network.